Welcome to GypsyCast, a podcast dedicated to the greatest band you've never heard. Join us as we explore all things related to Gypsy and dig deep into one of the missing links of American rock and roll.
Hello, Gypsy fans. This is Aaron Goodyear, director of Gypsy Rock and Roll Nomads. Congratulations, you've made it to episode 2. Today, we are talking to Shaun A. Skinner. Mr. Skinner is the director of photography for this film. He's also a co-worker and a pretty good friend. The reason that the film looks so good is because of him. I mean, he didn't shoot everything. I shot some stuff. Jack Tweston shot some stuff. My friend Matthew Apthorpe down in Tampa shot some stuff. So, he shot the bulk of it, and he also kind of is overseeing the kind of the film work in general of the movie. He's got a very sharp eye. He's got a steady hand. Knows what he's doing, and we're just going to talk to him here a little bit about just some insights he has on the film and kind of how the thing was hatched. I kind of had to badger him a little bit to get involved, but once he kind of got his head around the story of the band and kind of heard some of the music, he was on board. So he's really sunken his teeth into this and into this film, and I think everybody will like his work. So let's talk with him now. This is Director of Photography, Shaun A. Skinner.
So our, the typical podcast beginning, are we going?
Is it rolling?
Rolling? Are we rolling? Are we recording?
Did they say that they say that, or are they really wondering if they're rolling? Or
I think most of them don't understand how it works.
Okay. Shaun A. Skinner. I don't know what the A stands for, but should we play that game?
Yeah, you want to play that game? How many guesses do I give you?
3.
Okay.
Okay, asshole.
Correct, but incorrect.
No, that was my practice guess.
That was your practice guess.
Alan.
No, not Alan. Here, how about I just tell you this?
Boy, that's the only A word.
I am of Irish and Italian descent.
Okay, not helping.
Okay, Shaun is Irish.
Got it. Yep. I'm saying middle name though.
Anthony would be Italian.
Anthony. Gotcha.
Anthony. Yeah. So.
All right. Local filmmaker.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm glad. Thanks for having me be a part of this whole trip that we've taken so far.
Thanks for steering a lot of the ship.
I am just one of the udders. Not udders.
Are you gonna make me milk you?
Again?
This is awkward the first time.
This is very awkward being where we are. Awkwardly. Man. I'm very honored and proud to have been that you discussed this project with me and decided to have me come on. And I still think I think there's a lot of people out there that don't really know the origin. They know the origin of the band. They know a lot of that stuff. They don't know the origin of this documentary that you're working on.
Right. And I went over a lot of that in episode 1.
Which episode is this?
This is episode 2, man. Second one.
Oh, the Deuce.
So Shaun A. Skinner,
yes,
director of photography on this project, director of other films.
Yep.
Just recently, last weekend.
Yeah, we shot two short films
for a local. Is that a Z-Fest?
Z-Fest is it's locally based, but they like to send their films off worldwide. I mean. Almost every Z-Fest film that I've done over the past few years has gone on to another film festival, has won awards.
These are shorts?
These are shorts.
Okay.
And that means
how long is a short?
They keep them under 7.
Oh.
Some of these could live far less than that, and others deserve to be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Z-Fest is they let you create your product, enter it into the festival. It gets judged. You can win things. But then after the festival, you can then do what you want with the film. You still own it. They have a little bit of the rights as far as to re-show the original. But if you want to make a director's cut and go 10 minutes long or 15 minutes long, you can do that.
And retain the rights to it.
Retain the rights.
Okay.
So we did that last weekend. We shot 2 short films. one Saturday in one weekend. Wow. One Saturday, one Sunday. We had good planning. And really, here's what I like to do, and you know this. I like to put really, really, really good, talented people around me to make me look better. So,
wait, that's my trick.
No, well, I feel like that's what I was doing when I agreed to do this project.
Sure, right. So we're doing some podcast episodes. We're just kind of.
No, I like this. This is a good idea.
We're just gonna. I don't know. Right now, it's going to be maybe like a series of 10. Maybe it'll be just an ongoing, forever thing if I find enough stuff to talk about. So
just wait till you start getting into the podcast episodes of just Gypsy fans. You'll be that'll take like 6 years of your life.
Yeah, lots of stuff to talk about there.
Yeah.
Me and Shaun and I, and Jared and
other
producer, and James Walsh
and Mr. Owl.
We went to L.A. That was a fun trip.
That was a hell of a trip.
Brought him out there, and
I haven't been to L.A. since I was 2 years old.
Oh,
and so I had just turned 40 when we went out there.
Okay,
and it was like a shock and a beautiful experience all at once. The shock was mostly allowing you to drive on the California freeways. In a minivan.
Well, it was the same minivan that I own myself at home.
Yeah.
So I was familiar with where all the stuff was.
No, it was fantastic because
I'll tell you what,
I was dreading you were going to have me drive something out there.
Well, you didn't sign the thing, so you wouldn't drive. Oh, I didn't sign the thing.
I didn't sign it. I'm not driving it.
I found it easier.
Because you knew the car?
Well,
or just because you were in control of...
No, I found it easier than driving in Minneapolis.
You know what? It definitely moves a lot quicker.
I'll tell you, the thing is here, it's like you want to get over to exit.
Right.
Nobody lets you in.
Nobody lets you over.
And you're like, what?
And they get mad at you when you try to merge here.
LA, here's what I noticed about LA. I put my blinker on.
Yep.
5 to 10 seconds. Every time I was over.
Yep.
We were somebody in the back seat was navigating, and oh crap, you have to take this next exit, like before a mile.
Right.
Well, we're 5 lanes over from the exit. Well, okay.
True Minnesotans are worried about the exit.
Well, we're not going to get there. We're not going to make it.
Right.
Put the blinker on, boop, 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 cross 5 lanes of traffic, and we got it. Here, that it takes a congressional motion.
Just to get you over.
Anyway,
or you have to feel like you're going to get in an accident. It's like a fender bender just to get in, just to merge in Minnesota.
That's a completely other
that's a whole other podcast. That's Roadcast, we're calling that one, and that will be starting in just a few weeks
It's amazing, though. I'll wrap it up with this. There's 10, let's say for sake of argument, I don't know for sure, 10 times the amount of traffic in LA than there is where we live.
Right.
And it was so much easier to drive. After the first hour of kind of white knuckle, oh my God, I'm driving in LA, blah, blah, blah. You get over that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that I get nervous with when I'm driving in a new city is just
sound like hicks.
Not knowing where I'm going. You know what I mean? Yep. The nice thing, you got GPS in your phone, GPS in the car, whatever. That's the only thing I get really nervous about. Traffic is going to be traffic no matter where you go.
Well, we got off the plane, got the car, and our first stop was at an
because when we got off the plane, getting the car was the really easy part. If you remember how that went down. Do you remember how that went down?
Yeah.
That was fantastic. We get off the plane, we finally we have to take a shuttle over to the
rental
agency. Area, and they give us this mid-size SUV, and we're supposed to fit 4 adult men and
all of our gear.
And they gave us a mid-size SUV that may have fit a husband and wife and maybe their small dog. Yeah. That's all it would have fit.
This is boring people now.
It is. Yeah, but we were in LA, so.
But we landed anyway, we got the thing, and then we got the vehicle, and then we typed in the guy's address where we're going, and the GPS said 53 miles.
Yeah.
And he's still in LA City.
Yeah, he's still in LA.
So, anyway, we sound like total bumpkin hicks talking like this, but
we don't.
Anyway, so Walsh hadn't been there. James Walsh hadn't been there since 1975, right?
It was his 40th year away from LA, and his 40th year since he's been there. And
we brought him with to shoot some stuff. Let's
say film. Let's say film some stuff.
Okay, film some stuff. All right. And
shooting some stuff.
The first place we brought him, I think was it the Whiskey? Or was it the house?
No, it was the house. No. The very first place we took him was we did the interview.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, took him for his...
Oh, we went up to the observatory first. That was the first thing we did.
Griffith Observatory.
So we saw the Hollywood sign. We could see the city. We saw the fog.
Rebel Without a Cause was shot there. The whole, crash scene. Right. James Dean.
Place was packed. There was some a couple of D-bags that Jared was a big fan of out there.
Well, some guy had some like awful pickup line that we overheard. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, no. He said, hey, you dropped my number on the ground. And then she'd always laugh, and she looks, and then they'd be like, she was like, oh, I get what you did there.
How do you remember that?
I don't know, because he was a really bad.
You're like an expert. You're like an expert douchebag witness.
I'm a douchery. That's what we call ourselves. No, but douchebag.
So
witness.
they lived. This is no secret, but they lived next door to the LaBianca family.
The band, yeah, Gypsy.
The band house was next door to the LaBianca family. They were murdered by the Manson family.
Correct.
And they were victims of circumstance. Kind of, they thought they were going to kill somebody else, and they ended up killing.
Right. I forget how the bank manager was tied in. I mean, wasn't he the bank manager?
Yeah,
and that had something to do with it. Like
I don't think it was really had anything to do with that at all.
Okay,
I don't know.
All right, we did our homework on that angle today. Do you remember driving up there though? Do you remember driving that road, that skinny, tiny road?
Yeah,
and I remember James thought that the house that they lived in was gone.
Yeah,
he thought it was torn down.
We had looked on Google the map, the satellite image,
right,
and he couldn't see it because so much has been built up around there.
Right,
there's so much like foliage had grown up.
Well, and they had put a really nice new construction home right on the end of the road.
We were expecting it to not be there.
Yeah.
We pull up and he goes, "Up, that's the house."
That's the house. Yeah, because it was gated at the end of the street, which it was somebody's driveway.
Yeah.
The street had become someone's driveway at the end. And then he looked up and saw the house. And as the cinematographer for the documentary, I'm like getting
stop talking. I need to shoot this.
No. Well, I'm really giddy because I'm like, I had really low expectations walking up there because we thought, all right, we're gonna bring him up here where his house used to be.
Yeah.
He'll talk about some things, but we won't really be able to show much. And we drive up. He sees the house.
Lights up.
He lights up like a little kid on Christmas, and is just he gets really chatty about it. You can tell he's super excited about it. It's better for the film because we can see the pictures of the home. We can picture them inside playing Monopoly for 14 hours.
Yeah. I think that was code for something.
I think it was code
Monopoly.
for something. Yeah. Well, I think I'll have to ask Al about that.
Then we
went to In-N-Out, right? Or Jack in the Box. Which one was it?
No, In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. Yeah. It was the first time I had been to In-N-Out.
Your first time he broke your In-N-Out cherry.
I did. It was fantastic. I would go back in a heartbeat. I love that they use natural potato.
Fresh ingredients.
Yeah, very fresh. Nobody sits outside in California. It's gorgeous outside.
It was a beautiful day.
And everyone's indoors.
Because it was probably cold to them.
It was cold. Well, no, I think it was, it was
Well, no, wait,
something.
it was June, so who knows? Who the hell knows?
It was like an 85-degree day, and they were worried about it.
We took them to the Whiskey Go-Go. They were the house band
We took them to the Whiskey.
For a period of time in 1969 and part of 1970.
You can tell how the Sunset Strip would be, like, super chaotic back then.
Oh, yeah.
Like, crazy chaotic.
Now it was just weird.
It's just lots of traffic.
But it was weird, like, okay, there's a bar here, a club there.
Yeah.
I guess it's going through a lot of changes, but...
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to clean up. There was a lot of corporate businesses along... And when I say corporate businesses, I mean, like, you have... What was... I think there was Hustler Store, and then there was, like, 6 or 7 coffee shops that were all, like, mainstream coffee chains. And then, you had some of the classic buildings and bars and stuff.
Roxy's still there. Rainbow is still there. And of course the Whiskey is still there. And we
Chateau Marmont was still right there, obviously. And I mean, we drove up and down the strip quite a bit to kind of get our bearing and also to kind of figure out the best places to shoot from. But when we got out and
he got pretty emotional.
He did get emotional. It was really interesting. I didn't know. I didn't really understand or know how he was going to feel.
Yep.
And then when he went inside, we couldn't bring our cameras inside.
Yeah, they let us walk in there without the camera.
But he was wearing his microphone when he was inside. And that was pretty cool because I could hear him talking and remembering, and you could tell that he was welling up in a way. He wasn't going to be sobbing like a kid or anything, but it was one of those things where he was becoming emotional.
Well,
you walked in with him, though.
I did, and I took some pictures with him just on my phone with him, like checking things out, and he told me that everything is exactly the same. The upholstered booths are like this weird red. Everything's black.
I'm guessing it smelled pretty bad in there.
It smells like any kind of music venue you go to.
Stale beer and
stale beer and
dry sex.
Well, Well, the thing is, before you could smoke cigarettes everywhere.
Oh, sure.
So every place smelled like cigarettes.
Yeah, it's all on the walls and the ceilings.
Now everything smells like stale cigarettes.
Right.
I don't know what's worse.
I don't know.
Like
Wet cigarettes?
Like you go into First Avenue and it's like, oh, this is what a smoking ban smells like.
Right.
But
exactly.
But whatever it was 10 years ago, it was just a cloud of smoke in there. And then, he got pretty emotional, and it was his first time there in 40 years. And
that was his home for 2 years. I mean, that's where the band lived. I mean, that's a pretty big thing to take him back there and let him, just reminisce. You could tell he was very proud.
Yeah, he was there longer than 2 years. They kind of came and went, some of the members, but I think he left in '74 and then moved back to Minnesota. Gosh, what else did we do?
Well, we had drinks right after that, and
Dominic. We interviewed Dominic.
That's right.
He's a walking encyclopedia. He wrote Riot on Sunset Strip. Revised edition just came out in time for Christmas. So there's that. And then
what else?
The guy's a walking encyclopedia on the history of LA music,
right?
And the Sunset Strip. Yeah.
And he's an eclectic collector. We were in his house, and I'm telling you, it was
Brady Bunch.
It was Brady Bunch, and it was like Brady Bunch Goes to Hawaii. Brady Bunch.
It was awesome.
It was really, really.
He had
cool.
like the Easter Island lamp.
Yeah,
that was cool. And then he had like just all kinds of like, I think it was specific to 1 year.
It felt like late 60s. Yeah,
I think his whole house was like 66 specific because I think it was like built in 66. So he's trying to keep everything like. Definitely interesting dude.
Yeah, totally.
He's not a big part of the movie because the Sunset Strip's not a big part of the movie.
Right.
There's a lot leading up to it. And
it is a part. It is definitely,
it.
There's focus of it in there.
But if you want to talk to a guy who knows his stuff, I think we found the guy.
And you said he has a book out?
Yeah. Riot on Sunset Strip.
Riot on Sunset Strip. Okay.
Yeah, it was just revised and re-released. So
fantastic.
Well, what did you think when I came to you with this idea last? When was that? September.
Well, and I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about the band, and all I had to go on was your eagerness, and excitability. I mean, you were like super giddy about this project, and it made me want to hear more about it, and just listening to how you kind of figured out who they were, and then the fact that, okay, I want to know more information about this, that hunger for knowledge.
Well,
and
it's
then
a frustration for not being able to find any info.
Right.
You go on the internet and you search and you come up with nothing.
You can't find much, that's for sure.
Not nothing. You come up with a few things here and there.
A few things. But you as a music guy too, first and foremost, you had that thing in your head where it's like, why weren't these guys bigger?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Why am I not able to find more about these guys?
That's kind of the crux of the story.
Of course.
We're trying to answer that question because the music's incredible.
Oh, the music's amazing, and it's like, and then once I listened to the songs, and then we met James, and it was just like, all right, I'm in.
I got you hooked on it.
I am in, and these guys, I mean, we've talked to so many people. We've traveled to 4 different states now.
Well.
Piecing this together?
Well, California. We shot a bunch here in Minnesota.
Dallas. We went to Texas. You went to Illinois, right?
Yeah, St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Metro area.
Right.
Bleeds into Illinois, and we shot one of their concerts down there.
Right.
We didn't travel, but we had stuff shot in Arizona.
Right.
And Tampa. So
we're 6 states already, yeah.
Texas, Florida, Illinois, Missouri, Minnesota, California,
Arizona.
God, this thing's taken on a life that I never thought it would take on.
All from sitting in a restaurant in Detroit Lakes, which
yes.
Has no connection.
Yeah.
So in LA, we hit some nice places. We actually went to to Venice Beach as well.
I forgot about Venice.
Got some footage there. Ate at the Venice Whaler, which is one of my favorites. And that was nice. It was nice to sit with James. I think James enjoyed the trip.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if he knew going into it what to expect, but I think coming out of it, he
had a grasp.
I think he was very pleased with the project. Yeah. And I hope he still is. I think that he now kind of has a firm hold on where this is going.
Well, how'd you get into this whole thing? Because you've always been in like the video world. How did you move into like the film?
You know what? It's funny you ask. I a few years ago, Grain Belt Beer was holding a contest to It was the perfect scam for Grain Belt. Make a commercial for Grain Belt, and we'll judge it.
Yeah.
And the winner becomes the new commercial for Grain Belt. So it was
that's low overhead.
It's genius.
For them.
Oh, and you get a year's supply of beer if you win, right?
What's that, like a case a day?
52 cases of beer. It was or 50. Yeah, one a week. You get one a week.
Case a week.
A case a week. Hey, they're being conservative.
Okay.
Entered that contest. Went at it for 2 years. Top 5 both years. Never won it, but I know Grain Belt had a specific view of what they were looking for on that. And then they stopped doing the contest, so I figured let's find another project to do. And then I jumped into the 48-hour film festival, which with a bunch of coworkers, we made a film in under 2 days where you write, edit, create, shoot, produce everything, the whole film without sleeping.
Well, can you write a script?
No,
you write a script as part of the 48 hours.
Yeah, so once it kicks off at 7 p.m. on the Friday night,
and they give you your genre.
You'd pull your genre out of a hat. They give you a character you have to have, a prop, so you can't do any of this stuff ahead of time.
Oh.
And then
you can't write up 20 scripts for 20 different genres and just be like, okay, I got romantic comedy. Here's my romantic.
Listen, you certainly could.
Oh,
but that takes the fun out.
Honor system.
Yeah, part of it. And then you just throw the prop in there, and then it's whatever. This one, it was just like, let's do it for fun, and then we did really well, and we had so much fun. We did it again the next year, and then we found Z-Fest, and we kept doing Z-Fest in the 48s, and I did a couple of small documentaries for a local bike poster show that's now become international. Art Crank, one of my favorites. That couple music videos, it's just it's the creative outlet that
you're burying the lead though.
What's that? This?
No.
What am I missing?
One of the greatest comedians of our time.
Oh, the Dave Chappelle show? That was man, dude, that was a blast. We got hired by Chappelle to film his 11 shows in Minneapolis over 7 days in 2011. I think it was 2011.
Man, 5 years already?
No, it was not 20.
Maybe
it was only 2 years ago. I think it was 13.
Okay.
And we were there for every show. And the cool thing was watching Dave Chappelle. We hung out with him in the green room. We were just kind of the eyes on him everywhere he went. And to watch him take a set from the first night on that, I think the first night was a Sunday, or a Monday, whatever it was, and then he crafted the show kind of based on how the audience would react to certain things, and he would move things around, and he would bring them back, and he would put, he would rearrange the whole show, and it was pretty much the same show every night.
Yeah.
But he was working it,
fine tuning it.
He was very much fine tuning it. So then by the final night, when he's at the State Theater and he's selling out 2 shows back to back, he's just nailing it. I mean, it's just everything's firing on all cylinders, and the cool thing was he came in and we didn't have to use any of our own gear.
Brought all his own stuff.
He basically had brand new red cameras. And
not the color red.
No, not the color. The
Red's
brand. And they were in the cellophane still. And he basically said, "Here you go, guys." So we had to crack these suckers open, build them up, fine tune them, program all of them.
Yeah.
Make sure
that's a full day's work.
That's a process right there.
Man.
And then you got to dump it all down, and these files are huge. They're huge files. But anyways, it was a great experience. Got to hang with Dave Chappelle. Yep. It was an honor to just be asked to do it.
Well, then a friend of ours, one of our coworkers, is friends with him.
Yeah,
he brought him to work, so everybody got to meet him.
He's childhood buddies with him.
I made him laugh.
You made Dave laugh?
I made Dave Chappelle laugh.
Nice. He was talking to my wife in the green room at First Avenue about being parents. Like, about our kids and about his kids. And, that's why he stepped away from comedy for so long.
Yeah.
He wanted to be there for his kid. He wanted to raise his children.
I said, you never know what to say when you see somebody or meet somebody like that.
Right.
So I just, gave him a little crap about knowing our coworker.
Yeah.
And that made him laugh, and I was pretty proud of that.
You were in.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
you'll be on the next Chappelle show. There'll be
that was not a Chappelle show, though, was it?
What's that?
Or that was
it was just stand up.
Yeah. Okay. So you're shooting
his stint here. It was all just stand up.
It was a stand up.
So it's stuff that he's going to do something.
Because the Chappelle show has gone long.
Oh, it's long time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and that was owned by Comedy Central.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a good time. But yeah, I've always enjoyed films. I've always enjoyed producing. I feel like, again, like I said earlier, you put the best possible people around you, talented people, and you know you're gonna make a good product, and that's exactly what we're doing here.
Yep.
I mean, this is not only a great story, it looks cool. There's great elements to it from beginning to end. There's some sad parts. There's some funny parts. There's some parts that Gypsy fans aren't going to know about.
Right.
That they're going to be hearing for the first time.
Now, if the band's music sucked, and the story was great, okay, it's a shitty band with a good story.
Right.
If Gypsy's story
was boring,
but
the music's
music's
amazing.
great. It's great. Great, like the music. But this has both elements. It's got a compelling story, very compelling story, and the music is like, I couldn't believe it. I had to, from the second I heard it in that bar playing over the thing, I had it on a loop for a week.
Right.
And then that turned into 3 months.
And then it just gets in your
and
head.
Then my wife's like consulting the mental hospital. Like, I gotta get this away from.
He won't stop the classic rock.
So, anyway.
All right. What are we coming up here on? A few minutes.
Yep. So Shaun is the I call him Skinner, whatever.
That's my last name.
Shaun A.
It also
Shaun
works.
Asshole Skinner.
The nice thing about Skinner
Anthony.
is it works as a nickname as well as a last name.
Yeah.
So I had a girl in college junior year come up to me and be like, Skinner, and she's known me the whole time we're in college. What is your first name? She didn't know my first name. So Skinner's just fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever. Asshole, that works too. Yeah.
The director of photography for Gypsy Rock and Roll Nomads, and has done some things on the Live at the Wildie DVD too. Mm-hmm. So look for his name on there. What's next? What are you doing after this?
Right now, I'm in the middle of production on the 2 films that we shot last weekend. I just talked to another coworker. We're going to do a third for Z-Fest. And then I've got a couple things in the hopper, documentaries I want to start. And
where can people see these?
Yeah. Anything that we've worked on is at Red 23 Films, Red, the number 23 Films, all one word, .wix, .com, and that's our site.
And you've got your short films up there for people
all our
to
short
watch.
films and some of our docs, some of our promotional pieces.
Yep.
There's even a music video and a wedding piece up there, and just a lot of the video work that we've worked on over the years. Check us out. You can drop us a line. You can drop us an email, whatever, and let us know what you think.
Great. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk a little bit about this project, and kind of, I'm trying to kind of give the fans a little kind of inside look at what's happening and kind of chronicle this thing. It's my first documentary. It's my first kind of foray into
you wouldn't
this
know
thing,
it.
So
You definitely wouldn't know it. You've been you've been well organized, and you're putting it together well, and I think that because you're excited about it, you enjoy the music, you enjoy this band's story, that's going to show, and I think people are really, really going to enjoy this piece.
Great. Thanks, man.
Of course. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to GypsyCast. Be sure to like Gypsy Rock and Roll Nomads on Facebook and follow @GypsyBandMovie on Twitter for all official updates on film showings and information on how to get your own copy.